Hello, I'm going to walk you through I Belong Here, an imposter syndrome workbook from Little Nuthatch Co. I'll fill it out as we go along so you can see how it actually works. It's 4 parts, designed to be used at your own pace, and it's built around collecting real evidence, not just reframing your feelings. Before we get into the workbook itself, this page sets the tone for the whole thing. Imposter syndrome isn't a character flaw, it's a pattern, a very human one. And then at the bottom, you don't need to fix yourself, you need to see yourself more clearly. That's what the workbook is for. There's also a visual of the imposter cycle. Something good happens. Anxiety and self-doubt rise. You over-prepare or procrastinate. The thing happens anyway, and then you attribute it to luck or timing rather than yourself. So the cycle resets. The workbook is designed to interrupt that cycle at each stage. Psychologist Pauline Clance identified 5 patterns: the perfectionist, the natural genius, the expert, the rugged individualist, and the superperson. Most people recognize themselves in more than one. Reading these is usually the moment people realize what they've been doing isn't weakness. It's a pattern that has a name. The workbook starts with a checklist, 12 statements, and you just check what feels true today. Things like, I feel like I got here by luck. I'm waiting to be found out. I over-prepare to compensate. I deflect compliments. Most people check more than they expect. That's kind of the point. And then the reflection prompt at the bottom. What triggered you to pick up this workbook? That's where you start. Part 1 is the evidence log, and this is the section that does the most work. The intro explains it better than I can. The imposter syndrome voice works by discounting evidence. Every compliment becomes luck. Every success becomes timing. This log is not a gratitude journal. It is a counter-argument. Each entry has 3 fields. What happened, how you contributed, and what it actually proves. The 3rd field is the one imposter syndrome never fills in on its own. You have to do it deliberately. There are 3 pages of evident log entries, 9 slots, plus a separate page for logging compliments and feedback you've received. Because other people's perception of you is data, the workbook asks you to collect it. Part 2 is the reframe, and this page does something most workbooks don't. It comes with 4 pre-filled pairs to get you started. Common critic statements on the left, and honest counter-arguments on the right. Things like, if they really knew me, they'd realize I'm not qualified for this. And the truth. The version they see is real. I have experience. The parts I choose to hide are human. Or, I've just been overachieving to cover up the fact I don't know what I'm doing. And the truth. Higher effort is not a cover-up. It is competence in action. The bottom of the page reminds you the reframe doesn't have to feel true yet. Write it anyway. That's the practice. Part 3 is the Wins Vault, and this one is designed for the hard days, when the critic is loudest. Not your biggest accomplishments, any wins, small ones especially. You build it here, and then page 27 tells you exactly when to come back to it. Before a presentation, after a difficult piece of feedback, and when the comparison spiral starts. Part 4 is the rituals. And the one I want to show you is this one. Before you walk in, a 5-step ritual for any high-stakes moment. A presentation, an interview, a conversation you've been dreading. Step 1. Name 3 things you know that are relevant right now. Step 2. Name what you've done. Step 5 is the physical reset. 2 deep breaths, both feet on the floor, shoulders back. Then it says, you are already in the room. That is enough. You don't need to feel confident to begin. The last page. You belong here. You picked up this workbook because part of you already knew that. The evidence is here. The wins are yours. And the reframes are written. The critic will come back, but so will you. And now, you'll know what's actually true. This workbook also works in Goodnotes or Notability, as shown in this demo. If you prefer to fill it out digitally on a tablet, and of course, as it's a PDF, you are free to print at home and fill it out physically. I Belong Here is available at little.nuthatchco.etsy.com. If you found this useful, please subscribe. There are more walkthroughs and tools coming. Thanks for watching, and I hope you feel a little more capable this week.